Hey, yo, let's go, man. We back again for another episode of From the Bay to LA 49er podcast. Your boy LeBron, boy Primo. Let's go ahead and dive into it. First off, you know how we start the show. This is what we love to do. Man, a
Little
little
cheers.
cheers to get us going. Yes, sir. Now
There you
let's
go.
go
There
with
you
this
go.
recap, game recap. 49ers lose. We gotta let it be known. We took an L. I really didn't expect that. I really thought we were gonna win this game.
Yeah.
Uh, Everybody thought we were going to win the game. I don't know if you saw, but right before the game, they talked to all the analysts and everybody made their picks. And I think it was only like two people that took the Broncos. Everybody else took the Niners. So, yeah, man, it was a disappointing loss. But let's jump into the stat line. 49ers lose 10-11. Time of possession,
Terrible.
we were dominated in the time of possession this game, 34 minutes to 25 minutes. But we actually had more yards. This is the second loss of the season where the San Francisco 49ers actually had more yards than the team that we lost to. 267 to 261, so it was close. We passed for 179. They passed for 160. Rushing yards, we had 88. They had 101. So they did rush for more yards. 13 first downs to 14 first downs in favor of the Denver Broncos. We had 7 penalties. They only had 5 penalties. We had 3 turnovers, and that's something we're gonna get into and we're gonna talk about. They had no turnovers, 4 sacks each, and the total plays were 52 plays to 70 plays. Now let's just jump into what I'm gonna start with is the turnovers in this game. I said it
Yeah.
the first week. Anytime you have more turnovers and you have penalties, it's really hard to win a game, bro. And it happened again. 7 penalties weren't outrageous, but the turnovers, bro, like Jimmy stepping out the back of the end zone, bro. What are you doing, bro? How do you not know what 10 yards is? Like, you've been playing in the NFL for a long time. You know the ball is spotted on the 1 yard line. When you snap that ball, you know you only have 10 yards of real estate. Yet for some
Yeah.
reason, he still stepped on the paint. I'm like, bro, what's going on? The interception, I felt like there was a pass interference on that play. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like they were all over Debo and got to him before that ball had
Yep. I thought the same thing. They smacked
break.
him before he got the. Yep.
Yeah, got intercepted. The butt fumble to me was very egregious as well. As you saw the replay, Jimmy is on the ground, hand on ball, pulling the
Yeah.
ball in with
Yeah.
players on top of him. Should have been down just like a fumble in the game that
Yep.
happened for them. As soon as the guy grabbed the ball and they got on top of him, they were like, ball going that way. They didn't
Yep.
do it for us.
No.
You know what I mean? So the turnovers was like, but at the end of the day, man, yeah, it's just hard to win a football game with 3 turnovers. What you
I
got on it?
mean, to 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 give Jimmy some slack, bro. I mean, I know people say like I've been on Twitter, man, and I've been hearing it all, seen it all. And people are like, what does he need what does he need time to to acclimate again? He's been with the team for 6 years. Woo woo woo. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, we all know when we step into a job and then we take a vacation and we got to come back, bro. Some get rusty, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
Of
like you
course.
forget what to do, but the rust is definitely there for a few hours, maybe a few minutes. But
Mhm.
now imagine football, bro. He literally didn't practice with the team. Yeah, of course he's played with them for years, bro. But
Right.
I mean, it's to reacclimate your body to the hits, to the speed, everything. You know what I'm saying? After not even having an off season, pretty much.
Right.
But I mean, you know, the
I'll
same
tell you
Jimmy.
like this, man. One thing I gotta say about that, and it will tie into the 17 Jimmy thing. Um, he didn't need much acclamation in 17 when he took over. He wasn't on the team very long. He
But he had
wasn't
been
with it.
playing.
He got in there though when he started playing, and the boy was balling. Hey man, it was an excuse in week 2 when Jimmy hopped into the game and started balling. He was even less acclimated than he was this week. He was even less prepared when he came in for Trey when Trey got injured and won that game. You know what I mean? It's really hard for me to give him that excuse of the acclamation, but yeah, man, it is what it is. Definitely not Jimmy of 17, bro. We hyped him. I hyped him.
I
You
did
hyped
too.
him. Hey man, I like to own my shit too. You know what I'm saying? We've
Yeah,
done
we're
it in the
wrong.
past where If we wrong, homie, I come back on and I tell you, hey, that wasn't the vibes. I thought we had 17 vibes.
Yeah.
Bro, that was not the vibe, bro.
That was not it.
That was not it. I mean, he passed for 211. He passed for a touchdown. He threw an interception, but the other two turnovers you can't have. You can't step out of the back of the end zone.
Nah.
You know what I mean?
Nah.
Bro, like, come on, man. So yeah,
I
man,
mean,
how you feel?
he looked shook, bro. I mean, I hate to say it, bro. I know it's still one game. It's still a long season. Maybe 17 Jimmy does creep back, but I
Right.
mean, definitely for this game, bro, I was absolutely wrong. It was an atrocious take last show. All right, I look like an idiot for saying that he's gonna ball out this game.
Hey,
He didn't.
but he looked good. He looked good the week before. I mean, until
But
they scripted the second half and Kyle dialed him back, bro. And it was also said by Jimmy about how did he say it? He said it like if Kyle's play calls something about him being able to beat Jimmy, like in 17, how it was more off the cusp. It wasn't so
yeah,
much him knowing the book and running what Kyle wanted him to do. It was more of him kind of freelancing. And
Kyle got
yeah,
snarky when he got asked that question. He said, "Well, why don't you ask him that? What are you
right.
asking me for?"
Yeah. He said that sounds like something you should be asking him. Well, they asked him, and he said that it was something that Kyle could answer. So yeah, I did.
I
I
mean, look,
definitely saw that.
they don't. I think at this point, bro, and I mean, who's to? How could you blame either one of them, bro? Like
Right.
Kyle tried to get rid of him,
He
and
did.
clearly Jimmy is not
He
fucking with
did.
his playbook.
I'm not fucking with his playbook. If we're gonna keep it a
Yeah,
buck
no,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah, yeah.
I ain't fucking with his play. Dude, that book was I've even heard as a matter of fact, I think you sent me the clip of Hiberman and Middlecoff. They were talking about the vanilla-ness of that book, bro. It was terrible, bro.
I mean, and also obviously the video came out today. So somebody, uh, I guess was dissecting the film
uh-huh.
from TV, and they caught Jimmy saying to what it looks like that he hates Kyle's play calling.
Hey, bro, I could really believe it. I could believe it because, like I said, I hate the play calling. Now, one thing I will say, and I did see this while watching it live, there was a couple plays where Kyle drew some hot shit up, and it was the pass that Jimmy threw that didn't allow it to be what it could have been. There was a Debo running down the side of the field, butt naked, wide open.
Yeah,
That one he completely missed him. There was the one where he rolled the wheel route from the backfield. He burns the linebacker. Jimmy throws the ball so poorly, he has to spin around. He's running in stride. He's looking. He has to spin
spin
around. He
around.
turns around and fell as he caught the ball. Dude, there was nobody around. If that ball was thrown where he could just catch and run, that's a touchdown right there.
Yeah.
I believe that's a pass that Trey would make for 7.
Oh, for sure,
You
for
know what
sure.
I mean?
See,
If Trey
and I
wasn't injured.
and I think you when you lose a skill, you gain a skill. So obviously Trey could throw deep, Jimmy
Right.
can't, and over the middle. I mean, well, I guess now at this point, Jimmy can't either because I mean everything was looking sloppy on Sunday. You know what I mean? And also the play calling. But see, look at Jimmy missed Debo wide open. Did Jimmy miss him, or was that not the guy that he was supposed to go to? Because I mean, and it's just a thought. More than
Right.
likely, Jimmy just missed him. But you look at the replay, bro. He looked dead at Debo,
Right.
and
Right.
and
He
just
looked that
passed
way
him and went the other way.
and went right to the next progression. But not to cut you off, but this is one thing I do know. In the NFL, when they call plays, they do have you look at the first progression, but sometimes that second guy you pan to is the guy the whole time that you're supposed to throw the ball to. Not every play is it I'm reading the defense. Sometimes you have plays drawn up to go to a specific guide or a specific spot of the field. So maybe Kyle called that up to go the other way. Maybe he looked at Debo and just thought that he wasn't going to clear and break open. But you got to know the play calls. You got to know what you're running. And you had to know that there was a chance that he would break open, wide open by himself, You know what I mean? Butt booty
Yeah.
naked, running scot free. Like, bro, come on, like.
And I
But
mean,
yeah,
and look, at the end of the day, we'll never know. I
right,
mean, and this is not a defense of Jimmy. I mean, I'm just saying, based on the way the dramatics are going as far as Twitter drama, right? Because we don't know if all this is actual internal drama. We
right,
don't know if actually Jimmy and Kyle hate each other. But just based on some of the evidence and based on rumors that Kyle denied in the offseason and all of a sudden came to fruition, it's kind of like, okay, man, like clearly you're not good at hiding anything, right? Shit gets out, your players are talking,
right.
somebody's talking in that organization, right? And it becomes true at the end of the day. So, and with that clip of Jimmy, what it looks like him saying that he hates Kyle's play calling. I mean, at this point, man, it almost seems like they're both playing with each other. Like
A little tit
like
for tat,
oh
a little
yeah
tit for tat going.
you think so you think you're gonna do that? All right, bet.
But see, and this is my whole thing. Like, we know Jimmy's playing for a job. Jimmy, this year is an audition for the other, let's just say maybe 26 teams that might be interested. There's probably even less than that. Well, let's say 20 teams. But this is an audition for teams to look at Jimmy this year and say, you know what, we do want that guy. You know what, we'll take that guy when we don't have to give up a second for him and pay 27 million or 24 million in cap. You know what I mean? We'll take
Yeah.
him. We'll write something up. And as of right now, it ain't looking good. It ain't looking like nobody's gonna gamble for Jimmy G. Now it's a long year, bro, and he could turn it around. I'm not gonna sit here and say he can't, but I don't know. Maybe it's him hating the play calling, bro. Like I said, man, I hated it too. So,
Based on that, man.
man, woo. Now, if I'm not mistaken, bro, I think we had a question similar to this when we originally started the pod, and we talked about Kyle's genius, and it was when we were down and not even good at that point in the season.
Yeah.
And I went the route of saying that he's not the genius that everybody thinks he is. I think it goes into what a lot of people have been saying, because now we've had light on Kyle's book for some time, and people are just saying that he's a good play caller, but he's not a good head coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? A genius, a savant at your head coach position is not only a good play caller, but he's a good coach. He makes players better. He makes the team win. And we lose too many games that the Niners are penciled to win every year, bro. There's been games on every calendar under Kyle that I've looked at that game and I said, that's a Niner win. And we lose that fucking game, bro.
Yeah.
It's
19 was
happened
the only year.
every
19
year.
was the only year.
Yeah, well, yeah. That was probably the one year.
The outlier.
And you know what though? Even though we went 8-0 to start the season, I honestly didn't think we were going to lose any games that year. So you know what I mean? Like even that Seattle game, I was like, we're gonna win that one, and we lost it. So I still could say every year, but
Yeah.
for the most part, bro, yeah, that I don't think Kyle is what the league thinks Kyle is. The respect that other coaches have, or what a lot of people say about Kyle, I'm starting to feel like that book is only good for maybe this much of the book. That book is probably this fucking big. You know what I mean? But it's only this much in that book that's good play calls, because it's too many weeks, bro, where he doesn't show up. It's too many weeks.
I mean, I'd have to agree, man. I think with the roster that we have, just based on offense, bro. And I mean, you got Kittle, you got Juszczyk, you got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell when he's available. You
Right.
have Jordan Mason who gained 7 yards and then was never
And
used
then,
again.
right. Not
So
utilizing.
I mean, so at this point, I'm kind of like, man, like we have the best tight end, the best fullback. You could argue one of the top 3 receivers in the league. I mean, he's a Swiss
I'll
Army
say
knife,
top 10.
so
Top
he could
10.
do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Brandon Ayuk looks promising. He looks like he's a
Promising.
rising star.
Promising.
You're gonna tell me you can only put up 10 points?
Bro, you know what's funny to me about that? The old Kyle could get more than 10 points just running the ball in a game. Off of our running game alone, Kyle could put up more than just 10 points usually. Something is not ticking right. Something's off. And you know what's funny? I hate to blame Debo for all the drama and the bullshit that happened, but all of that type of shit fucks up team morale too, bro.
Oh, of course,
It just kind
of
of
course.
just, you know what I mean? Like it was just a lot of bullshit that we had to deal with. And right now I'm just feeling like, bro, Kyle's not who we thought he was. He's
Yeah, no,
showing.
I definitely don't think he's a genius until proven otherwise, right? And being proven otherwise would be winning the Super Bowl. I mean, you've gotten close, but you can't seem to. And we can blame Jimmy all we want, right? But at the end of the
Right.
day, he's on the team. Some people say that Kyle wanted him, others say that John wanted him, and he forced him on to Kyle.
Yeah.
And based on what we hear about Kyle, the way he is, um, it seems like very arrogant, closed-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's his ideas,
Mm-hmm.
anything is wrong if it's not his coming out of his mouth or out of his brain or anything. So, I mean, maybe this is a system that's not for Jimmy. Maybe he could thrive in another system. He thrived in New England. So for me, it's hard. I mean, I know he didn't have too many starts over there, but I mean, he looked different to what he looks now.
Yeah. For sure.
And just based on the sample size we have with Jimmy and Beathard and Mullins, Kyle doesn't have a good track record of picking and polishing up these QBs. I
Or
mean,
maximizing QB's capability.
the
He
only
he
QB he
doesn't.
had success with was Matt Ryan, but he was already successful.
He was good. Matt Ryan was solidified as a perennial Pro Bowler when he got there.
Yeah,
Like he was already solidified. But yeah, man.
exactly. So I mean, and with all those weapons, it's just kind of ridiculous. I mean, you give Josh Allen, Herbert, Mahomes the weapons we have.
Yeah,
I mean, it's stupid the amount of talent we have.
it's disappointing to see because you hear all the talks like people say this is a Super Bowl caliber roster, all the hype. Us as Niner fans, bro, like you say, Twitter, all the hype, all the shit we saw. You would have thought that this team would be 3-0 right now. You know what I mean? This was the sweet part of the schedule that we were supposed to come out and clean up. Because I'm telling you, bro, you look at the schedule in these next 4 or 5 games. You got the Rams twice. You got the Chiefs. You got
Yeah,
some
well,
teams, bro, in this stretch. If Kyle don't screw that shit on, go in there and hit that playbook. Hey, unless he got Bobby Boucher. You remember the water boy when the coaches split and he was like, hey, I need that
yeah,
playbook? Unless
yeah.
Mike McDaniel was like, hey, man, I need that playbook, homie. You know what I mean? Because all
Hey,
the good plays could
Mike
be gone.
McDaniel's making it happen in Miami, and
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying.
don't get me wrong, he's got ballers over there, but he don't have as many ballers as we do.
Bro, that's
I
what
mean,
I mean. I'm
he's got
saying
two elite wide receivers though. He's got Waddle and he's
he
got
does.
Hill.
That he does. But nothing else on that team is better than what we have. That is the
Nah,
only
not
thing
even
he
close.
has that is better than what we have. So I don't
And it
know,
doesn't
man.
make sense. And they just took down the Bills
That's what,
with Tua, with
bro.
Tua. And I
I'm
don't want to.
telling
And
you, it
look it.
feels like,
And all of a sudden, I'm hearing on Twitter they're like, "Oh, well, he's got a better quarterback." Come on, man. Just last year, everybody was talking about Tua was a scrub, was a bust.
bro.
So
That's what
many
I'm
memes of
saying.
him not being able to throw the ball. So I mean, like, I don't want to hear that people say, "Oh, he's got a better QB," because nah. I mean, he was looking like a Jimmy Garoppolo, like a Polynesian Jimmy Garoppolo, right? So you know what I'm saying.
That,
And
but
now
I
he's looking
mean,
solid.
but now he's looking solid, and young quarterbacks progress. You look at Jalen Hurts; he's progressing. In
Oh, he's
year 3,
balling.
he's looking great. It does happen. Quarterbacks get better. That's a known thing. But I'm looking more so at that playbook, and I'm starting to feel like Kyle got, homie, he got done like Red Bull. You did, Coach Klein, dog. I need that playbook, bro. He took that Coach
Dang.
Klein. But
Snatched
yeah,
it. Mike McDaniel said, "Let me have my playbook back."
I need that.
Damn.
I need that, bro. You can't have it.
I mean, shit. I mean, if the offense can't produce, do you think the defense could do it again?
bro, we are wasting a Super Bowl caliber defense this year if Kyle doesn't get his shit together.
We've been doing this since 19, bro.
Yes, we have been wasting Super Bowl caliber defenses for years now. I can count at least 3 defenses that were that fucking good. The one this year, the one last year, and 19. Those 3 defenses were Super Bowl caliber defenses. Hell, one of them proved it because they made it to the Super Bowl, and I honestly think that might have been the worst of the 3 defenses. But either way, the defense can only take us so far, bro. You see how they were bending and not breaking all game long. Russell Wilson at one point in that game, 7 3-and-out drives. And if I'm not mistaken, they were consecutive. They were back to back to back. They weren't getting first downs. The defense was holding it down.
Yeah.
In NFL, you can only do it for so long. There's going to be a drive, especially going up against a quarterback like Russell Wilson. There are going to be drives where he just gets it together, where he just puts something together and he's able to get into your red zone or get into field goal position. And bro, I don't think the defense will be able to carry us all year long. I would love to see them do so, but Kyle's got to show up. Kyle's got to do something, bro. What do you think?
I mean, I think this is the best defense we had since 19, to be honest with you.
For sure.
They're flying around. The speed just seems a little bit quicker than last year's. And that's without Jimmy Ward in the back.
Bro, without Jimmy Ward, this defense looks like the
and without Brett as a depth
at corner. Let me cut you off for a quick second. I don't know if you've seen this, but Pro Football Focus has our 2 safeties right now, Gibson and Hufanga, ranked as top 5 safeties graded in the NFL. I don't know if you saw that, bro.
I did.
But they're grading high. This combo right here is looking like, man, we could throw Jimmy Ward at corner or something. Like this combo looking nasty, brother. But go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you know what? When I say without Jimmy, Jimmy's a baller. Don't get me wrong, but like Harbaugh used to say, I'm sticking with the hot hand.
Got to.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe, Jimmy come in packages and stuff like that, but if it's working, don't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, their repertoire together right now is working. Obviously, Hufanga and Jimmy have a better one because they played together, but Jimmy's been injured, so there will be some kind of rest initially when he come back.
Right.
But either way, I think this is the best defense since 19, bro. I think it's better than 19 defense. But I mean, at what point is the defense gonna be like, man, like again? Like we got to do this again? Exactly. And by the time we make it to the prime games later in the season, I mean the defense is worn out, bro.
Exactly.
Because the offense ain't been doing shit.
Exactly. And that's why I said the offense at some point has to start to tick. You can't expect the defense every game to hold teams. This is the NFL. This is a league where the rules and everything is in place for offenses to score. Okay? This isn't the NFL that I grew up watching in the 90s where it's commonplace to get a 13-10 game. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's commonplace for a team to have 7. It's 7-13. Those were NFL scores regularly. The NFL now, it's made for points to be put up. So once you get to playing the Chiefs, once you start playing those type of teams, points are going to be scored, and we are going to have to be able to score points to match what those teams are doing, bro. And if we can't, we won't win games.
I mean, look, the Chiefs, I think, is going to be our first real test before the bye. At this point, I don't even know how the hell we would beat them. And I only say that because the offense ain't doing shit. I think the defense could hold down Mahomes, like you said, for a certain amount of time before, you have to do something. You have to put up points early.
We even did it in the Super Bowl. But we even did it in the Super Bowl. We held Mahomes for 3 quarters where he looked bad. He threw 2 picks. He was not looking good. He threw the second pick in the 4th quarter, but we were holding Mahomes down, bro. He literally beat us in 8 minutes. But that's what I mean.
Well, but I mean, I know we already went over the topic about Kyle being a genius, but who stopped using Debo?
Who stopped running the
out
football?
of nowhere?
Who
Yeah,
stopped running
exactly.
the football up 10?
Exactly.
You're up 10 points.
That's
And you stop running the
that's the thing
ball.
about Kyle, bro. I don't get it. I don't get it. Again, like last night, but on Sunday,
Yeah.
Mason runs for 7 yards, bro. What, you pull him?
You pull them
Samuel Walker's been a ball hawk, and he loses his job in practice.
in practice. We saw Lenore look good in practice, and all of a sudden he's the nickel. Not for nothing like that Womack
I mean,
did.
he played good on Sunday, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
and I've been hearing that obviously maybe his run defense isn't great, but the dude was a ball hawk.
bro. He showed us throughout the preseason why he should be the starting nickel. It's just a weird year. It started off weird. Week 1 was weird with the teams that won and lost, just the way it played out. And right now, it's just looking like an even more weird season, bro. Like
It almost feels like Harbaugh's last year that he was on the Niners, bro, where everything was just kind of like wacky. Shit started coming out. Players, you know what I'm saying, reported talking about players this, players that.
The only big difference is this team is so much more talented than that team. Harbaugh last year, not to say that team didn't have studs on it. We know what that team had. Yeah. But I just feel like the losses that we were taking, and there was inside the front office, there was a lot of issues. There was this guy not getting along with this guy, but the owner likes this guy and not that guy. It was a lot that happened, bro. So it does feel like this could be that type of year, but I'm really hoping it's not, bro. I'm really fucking hoping it's not.
I would want to keep Kyle and John around just because they're drafting it so good.
Right.
Because I don't know. At least being a Niners fan for so long, bro, it's been a minute since we had really good like people in the front office being able to draft quality players every
year after year doing it.
Yes. So that would probably be my biggest, like, let's not get rid of them because of that, bro. But if they were like drafting, like, you know, mediocre, I would almost be up. I mean, you could sway me to the position to where I could be like, all right, let's get rid of Kyle.
I might be inclined to say that they could go.
But based on the drafting, bro, I'd say hell no. I think we've struck gold as far as drafting, and that's a huge part of the game, bro. I mean, even if we don't win the Super Bowl, like, ever with Kyle, I mean, staying relevant though. Look, and a lot of people are gonna be like, well, that's just being complacent. You want to be mediocre. It's not that. I mean, I'd rather be hitting the playoffs, reaching the NFC Championship, opposed to being 3 and 14 or 15 at the end of the season, bro, and got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, bro, and that can't happen this year because somebody is definitely gonna have to pay. If the 49ers win 3 games this year,
but I think the excuse would be that Trey got injured.
And that it will be a viable excuse because you lost him in week 2. But for the fan base, you got people calling for Kyle's head already after week 3, my boy. You've been on Twitter. You've seen this shit. There's people already calling for his job, like, fire Kyle, bro. Like,
I wouldn't take it that far because
I would never. No. We're not going to find nothing better.
Who are you going to replace him with, right?
That's my whole thing.
So I'll deal with his micromanaging ass till we find somebody that's, you know,
get
over the hump like Steve Kerr did, right, to the Warriors. Mark Jackson had us there. I mean, my team, because you're a Clippers fan, but had the Warriors just, you know, kind of like what Kyle has them. Steve Kerr came in and was just that.
And maybe that might have to happen, bro. I heard something about Sean Payton, not that he was interested or anything like that, but I heard his name thrown in the hat as somebody that would possibly love to coach a team this talented, bro. He knows
he's from my town. He's from my town, so he's from out here. He's a Bay boy.
And he's ran into us many a times and taken L's to these Niners. He knows about us. Like, I'm sure he grew up a Niner fan.
I think he would be able to develop Trey Lance. He had Drew Brees for so long.
No doubt about it.
I think he'd be able to develop Trey Lance beautifully.
I 100% agree with that, bro.
100%. I think, honestly, bro, if the front, I mean, I think at the end of the day, bro, the front office doesn't see much change in Trey, bro. You got to veto Kyle and say, you know what, man, we getting a QB coach that works for him, and you have no input as far as that. I mean, play calling and all the other stuff, that's on you. But don't touch this kid no more.
Right.
Don't touch him because everything at this point, bro, it's been his. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
What
leave
he
him
wants.
alone.
Brian Greasy is the QB coach on the Niners, bro. First time coach, right? I mean, it's kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, are you that cocky? You can think you just pull anybody?
I think he is, and I think he's been getting away with it for so long in this tenure of being a head coach. He's been getting away with just bringing guys in when he loses a guy, and it's just plug and play, and we don't
Yeah.
lose anything. You know what I mean? So he thought that he could do it again this year. You got to remember, it was the most turnover in coaching staff that we've had since Kyle's been here. We lost a lot of coaches. We had Bobby Turner retire. We had so much stuff happen, bro. We
Yeah.
lost a lot of fucking coaches, dude. Like, maybe that's the reason why it don't look the same. I don't know, but like I said, man, at the end of the day, I feel like the defense will not be able to carry us unless Kyle is able to put up points. He's got to screw it on. And let's go ahead and roll it on.
Final topic, man.
Huh.
Can we beat the team that we own? I mean, they beat us in the most important game last year.
They
The
beat us
one
in
that
the most
actually
important
mattered.
game. Prior to that, we had won 6 games in a row against them.
Yeah.
And this is my main point that I'm going to make about us beating the Rams next week. I'm making the case for it right now. You go back and look in the years, especially last year, when we were not doing the best and they came to San Francisco and we mopped the floor with them. Jimmy Ward had 2 interceptions to start off the game, took one to the crib. Our backs were against the wall. We needed a win to stay afloat. Kyle Shanahan, for some reason, always finds the right plays in the book when we play the Rams and we need a win. This has been what it's been. Shit, we needed to win week 18 to get in.
Yeah.
He found the plays. He found what he needed. The game prior that I just spoke about, he found the plays that he needed. Dude, go back to, what was it? Year before that, 2 years. Was it the Super Bowl year? Well, I'm not sure what year it was. We were down, and I believe we needed like 2 first downs, and we completed 2 17-yard passes on third
Oh
down.
yeah, it was the year we went to the Super Bowl. It was 19.
Okay, and he
They had a
found the
chance to
play.
spoil our first
Us
place.
winning the division. Well, we had the showdown
Yeah, win the
against
division.
Seattle, but we
Yeah.
needed the game to win to
Yeah.
even be in position for that. So that's
And
my point.
Jimmy threw 2 bombs, bro. That's why
That's my
I don't
point.
understand that Jimmy can't throw far. He threw 2 bombs.
That's my point. And when our back are to the wall and we need these games, Kyle's been able to pull them out against the Rams every time. I'm taking the 49ers to beat the Rams on Monday Night Football. I will be at the next game in SoFi. I got my tickets already. You will see me out there. I might even have something for the people. You know what I mean? But yeah, for sure, bro. I'm taking us to win that game. What you thinking?
Just to not jinx him, I'm gonna say I don't know. I thought we had Chicago. I said Chicago's gonna get mopped. Didn't happen. I said I was worried against Seattle. I said, yeah, they don't have Russ, but I'm still kind of worried we won.
Yeah.
I said, oh, Broncos, we're gonna mop Fat Wilson. Guess what, bro? Fat Wilson pulled something out of his bag, and we lost. So I'm gonna say, I am afraid of this game because if we lose this game, I almost feel like the season might just be a wrap because the schedule gets harder.
It only
And
gets
you
harder.
yeah, and you lose to 2. I mean, yeah, they're 2-1, both of them, the Bears and the Broncos. But I mean, they suck. I wouldn't expect any more wins from them moving forward. But
Both of those teams are only 2-1 because we fumbled the game against both teams.
right, exactly. So, yeah, if we can't beat the Rams to just kind of ignite something and just get the guys going, because wins cure everything.
Mm-hmm.
This game, and especially against the Rams on prime time, if we lose this game, man, this could just
the second primetime game in a row. You already left a bad taste in the nation's mouth after watching us on Sunday night and we didn't do shit.
Yeah.
People gonna tune in Monday night because it's Monday Night Football. But bro, you gotta win this game. And I'm very confident that Kyle can pull it off. Not to cut you off, my bad, but
no, you're good.
Hey,
I'm gonna let you be the confident one because I'm over here, on eggshells.
You know what I have to be though, and it's funny because when you watch me and you, and we do what our thing, and the people, that tune in, you'll see the balance of us is always like this. I'm always the one that believes that the Niners can come back and pull it out
No,
every
I'm
year.
emotional.
Hey, bro, in him, he ready to turn coat on niggas once shit get bad. He like, man, fuck the Niners right now. Kyle was tripping, like,
I'm
but
too
that's on
emotional,
balance,
man.
bro.
Yeah, I'm too emotional. So I just to end things, man. I think possibility that we could win. Yeah, I hope Kyle turns it around. You got them winning. Uh, Score?
If you want to score, if I got to go that deep, I'm taking the 49ers to win this 24-17, 49er win.
Sounds about right.
I'm,
I
take,
hope
I'm
I
taking the
hope we
24-17 49ers win.
I hope we click on all cylinders, and I hope we get this dub, man. Because if we get this dub, then it can only go up from here.
We need this dub, bro. We need this dub.
Yeah.
That's it, right? Last topic.
Yep. That was it.
All right, man. So pretty much that's another one in the books, y'all. Week 3's a wrap from the Beta LA 49er podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, join the
Yep.
ride. We out of here.
Like.
Peace.